How to get your ex back step by step. Going through any breakup is difficult enough, so I want to make it as easy for you as possible. First of all, you need to know that whatever you may have done so far to get your ex back is simply not effective. This is because you're likely driven by emotional wants and desires. When you're emotional, you tend to exhibit a weakness that is simply not attractive to an ex-partner. Therefore, if you're a man and you're in a beta-like characteristic, this may be keeping your woman away from you. And if you're a woman, begging and pleading your man to come back will not exactly be attractive and appealing either. In this series of videos, I will explain to you how to remove your ex-partner's resistance from you before attempting to try any sneaky attraction tactics to get him or her back. Removing their resistance is about using no contact or limited contact correctly. I'll make sure you understand these techniques very well. A lot of people struggle with this because they don't understand how to do this effectively. You should stop worrying and start paying attention because you will learn how to handle yourself in order to jumpstart your ex's heart. When we find that perfect soulmate, you feel happier than ever before and capable of moving mountains. Unfortunately, breakups happen, and they can happen to anyone. Some breakups are permanent, while others can be undone with the right steps. So before we go into advanced techniques, let's talk about the basics. If you want your ex back, you need to avoid giving up who you are. That is, giving your soul to them. It's normal to want to do everything humanly possible to get your ex back, but you don't have to drop to your knees begging and promising the world simply because you want him or her back so badly. Instead, you need to be strong, stay calm, and believe you will do just fine without him or her. This attitude will set the stage when you resume communication with them. You will be on equal footing. Now, think about you for a minute. What is your wow factor? You need to be creative here. The same old you needs to be done away with. Only a newer you is going to be much more successful when it comes to getting back with your ex. The old you contributed to the end of the relationship, so it is time to create a wow factor. But you have to be realistic. You have to do just enough to change your life, like exercise more or getting a better job. Changes that you will be able to maintain over the long run. Do something to create a better image of whom you are becoming, and your ex will surely notice and respond well to the positive changes. But again, don't create something phony just to get them back. They will find it hard to believe and trust, and you will never be able to keep the charade for long. Also, never forget how the breakup happened. While you should not allow past mistakes to hang over your head, you should not forget about what led to the breakup either. Take what happened in the past and honestly look at those events as a learning experience and a reminder of what you need to avoid in the future. You are likely not 100% responsible for the breakup, but you need to face what you did wrong and focus on correcting that behavior. Forgive and forget what your ex did wrong. This is the best way to make sure that you will not allow history to repeat itself, should you get back with your ex sometime in the future. Create a solid plan of action and work your plan. Don't make the fatal mistake of hoping that if you just emotionally go all out, you'll have good results. Emotional action makes you appear needy, and this is a definite turn-off. You need to show that you are the master of yourself and confident in whom you are, operating as if failure is not an option. If you put some thought into the process, you will be a lot more successful at scoring your ex back. Approach the situation with a plan and you will be able to get your ex back sooner than you might think. Common mistakes when trying to win back your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. After a breakup, it's normal to feel upset and hurt. Keep in mind though that when we are upset, we often make more and bigger mistakes. These mistakes can make it more difficult for you to win back your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. You may know this famous quote, "Smart men learn from their mistakes. Geniuses learn from the mistakes of others." So let us look at some of the most common mistakes you need to avoid in order to win back your ex successfully. Number 1. Acting desperate. Acting desperate or needy is probably the most common mistake guys make after a breakup. To win back your ex, you need to stop needy behaviors as soon as possible. Are you doing any of these following? Begging her for forgiveness, telling her you need her so much, saying you cannot live without them, explaining why you need to stay together, buying flowers or gifts. All this make you appear desperate and needy. Neediness is the number one attraction killer. Ask yourself, why would they want to get back with someone who acts needy and desperate? People do this mistake all the time. And why is this mistake so common? One of the reasons is that in romantic movies, you will often see people getting back together when the man does something romantic or tells his ex that he cannot live without her. But in real life, things don't work that way. You need to do things differently to win back your ex. If you want to win back your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, first and foremost, you need to keep your dignity and self-respect. This will not only help you win back your ex, but will also make you feel better about yourself. Number 2, contacting them too often. It's a very common mistake to think that your ex does not understand how much they mean to you. And so it is very common to see guys contacting their ex-girlfriend all the time. Phone calls, surprise visits, messages, etc. Let's face it, your ex has made up her mind. The decision did not come out of the blue, and so it is unlikely that showing her how much she means to you will change her mind now. There are much better ways to win back your ex. In fact, many guides say that soon after a breakup, you should stop contacting your ex altogether for at least 30 days. This is known as the no contact rule. How can the no contact rule help you? First of all, pestering your ex with phone calls and messages will not suddenly convince them to change their mind about breaking up with you. In fact, you will only annoy him or her and decrease your chances of getting back with your ex. The beautiful thing about the no contact rule is that in most cases it will make your ex curious and she will want to contact you. It can take a few days or several weeks until she decides to do so, so you need to be patient. Use this time wisely to prepare a sound plan of action to win back your ex. Arguing with the ex. Although many of us make the mistake of acting desperate, some people go the other way and have huge conflicts with their exes. If you want to win back your ex, arguments and conflicts will certainly not help you win her back. If you are someone who has been fighting with his ex, one of the best things you can do is to write her a friendly letter saying two things: that you understand her decision to break up and that you agree with the breakup. You suddenly agreeing with the breakup will make her feel less certain about her decision to break up, and your change towards a friendly tone opens the door for more friendly interaction. Ultimately, the possibility of you getting back your ex. In general, wait until she decides to contact you again after that. Then be friendly, but not needy or desperate. This will increase your chance to successfully win back your ex. By being friendly with your ex in this way, you can slowly start seducing them again, and it should be easier the second time since you already know what they like. Trying to make them jealous. You may be considering in making your ex jealous by getting another mate. If you want to win back your ex, then making them jealous will not help you in the long run. You may succeed in making them jealous, but do you really want to deal with all the negative consequences of this? Your ex may decide that you have moved on and may stop trying to win back with you even if she wants to. Making your ex jealous can have other unexpected side effects as well. Even if you do succeed to win back your ex, she or he may hold a grudge against you. In other words, making them jealous can poison your relationship for a long time to come and will make it more difficult to win back your ex for good. Another common mistake is trying to win back your ex too fast. Many guys and even girls jump at the first sign that their ex may still be interested in a relationship with them. Professing your undenying love the first time she decides to call you is simply not the best idea. To win back your ex, it is usually much better to allow her into your life in smaller steps. Remember that she may also need more space for some time. Think of it as a start of a new relationship where you seduce her again slowly. This approach increases your chances of a successful relationship later on. What you have to avoid doing. Isolating yourself from people. After a breakup, many of us make the mistake of isolating ourselves from friends and people in general. Having been there, let me tell you, it may be hard initially to make that first step and get out into the world again, but it's well worth it. Socialize, take a hobby, do whatever you enjoy, meet people, talk about this and that. Even if initially you don't feel like doing this, all this will help you win back your ex later on. It may take a few times of going out before you start to see the positive effects. This will help you a lot once you get in contact with your ex again. Seeing that you are not miserable will make you much more attractive to them. Your whole attitude will be lighter and more optimistic, and this cannot be faked. It can hardly be overstated how important a positive, light attitude is to win back your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. It can take time to get through the difficult feelings the breakup brought up. We will soon talk about coping with breakups, but you must remember, until you feel better again, you should not try to win back your ex. Also, listening to the negative self-talk. It is also important to get your thoughts off your ex and the breakup, or you risk becoming obsessed and miserable due to all the negative self-talk. I'm not good enough. I'll never find someone as good as her or him. It's all my fault. If I only didn't do that or this, you know what I mean. And I guess it's not difficult to see why getting out of those thoughts is a good idea. Whether or not you're trying to win back your ex, focusing on other things, especially things you enjoy or like doing, will help you get your mind off your ex and the negative self-talk. If you're so inclined, you can also try silencing your mind in meditation or do some relaxation exercise. Getting a massage can work wonders also. Coping with breakups. Coping with breakups is always difficult, regardless if you or your partner initiated the breakup of the relationship. Breakups can be some of the most devastating emotional experiences, and as such need to be taken seriously. However, even though it may feel like you're going through the worst breakup ever, realize that it is not true. Almost everyone has had to cope with a breakup at least once in life, and it is never easy. It is good to know what helped other people to recover quickly after a breakup. Whether or not you want to win back your ex, here are some of the best ways of coping with breakups. Number 1. Allow your feelings. After a breakup, you feel a lot of different emotions, ranging from sadness to anger and downright heartache. Realize that it is normal to have such intense and uncomfortable feelings after a breakup. The best way to deal with these emotions is to allow yourself to feel them. Give yourself time to process through the sadness and pain of the separation. Allow yourself to cry. It is okay. When coping with a breakup, you can allow your emotions to come up when you are alone, or you can express how you feel to a friend. The important thing is to not suppress these emotions. Suppressing how you feel will only prolong the pain. Truly releasing it just once is a much better approach for coping with breakups. If you become too exhausted, you may need some breaks. Do something else for a while until you feel ready to allow your feelings to come up more. Number 2, take your time. No one can tell in advance how long it will take to get through the emotions the breakup brought up. Take the necessary time for your healing process. Also, it is perfectly normal that you will be less effective at your job after a breakup. Realize that this is okay and that you will be back to normal much sooner if you do not fight against your feelings. Self-focus. Be kind to yourself. After a breakup, with all the stress and difficult feelings, you may become too hard on yourself or neglect your body's needs. As has been mentioned in a video about the most common mistakes when trying to win back your ex, negative self-talk is a very common problem. Realize that you do not have to torture yourself with these negative thoughts. You can make the choice to focus on something else, something that you enjoy, or maybe something constructive to get your life going again. Above all, be kind and loving to yourself. Self-love is the best way to heal emotional wounds. You may find alternative support. Although coping with breakups is possible without any help from others, many people find it helpful to share their feelings with friends or a support group. You can find support groups in your area or join anonymous online support forums. After some time, get active. While it is important to have quiet time for yourself as a way of coping with breakups, eventually you need to start becoming more active. This will speed up your breakup recovery process tremendously. Do whatever you enjoy doing with others. Maybe some hobby or social work or something else that will allow you to engage in life and interact with different people. Ask yourself why you want to win back your ex. Now, you need to ask yourself why you want to win back your ex. Be as honest as possible with yourself about whether you should win back your ex. It can save you a lot of heartache and misery later on. You need to decide whether your ex is truly good for you. Should you get your ex back? It's very important to honestly ask yourself whether it's a good idea to win back your ex or not. Be as honest with yourself as you can in this. You will avoid much headache later on if you answer this question truthfully. Also, if your breakup happened just recently, then you may need to give yourself some time before making the decision whether or not you should try to win back your ex. Otherwise, you risk not having the necessary clarity of mind due to the stress and pain of the recent breakup. Basically, you need to decide whether your ex-girlfriend is truly good for you. Only if you can honestly say that she is, should you start making plans to win her back. Let us look at a few examples. Some people want to win back their ex only because they cannot stand the idea of them being with someone else. But realize that this is far from love. This is simply jealousy. Missing your ex-girlfriend desperately is also not a good reason to win back your ex-girlfriend. For example, if your ex-girlfriend cheated on you or manipulated you, you may still miss her, but does that mean that you should try to win them back? Bad relationships are like drugs. Taking heroin may feel good, but is it really good for you? That's an extreme example to make this point really clear. If you want to win back your ex-girlfriend for the wrong reasons, it will just make your life more difficult. On the other hand, you may have done a mistake that you truly regret now. If you can, correct your mistake, or at least apologize. Then you will have a good chance to win back your ex-girlfriend. Maybe you took your relationship for granted. Just as the old saying goes, you don't know what you've got until you lose it. Generally speaking, there are two different reasons why people break up. Either it's due to conflict or due to growing apart, or sometimes both. When a couple grows apart, quite often there is not much conflict and you remain friends after the breakup. If, however, your breakup happened because of a conflict, keep the following in mind. Conflicts are always based on a misunderstanding. So either you or your ex misunderstood something either of you said or did. Every conflict is a misunderstanding that got blown out of proportion by heated emotions. That means you can still get back your ex. When her anger cools down a little bit, she will also begin to miss you. Fortunately, most people find it far more rewarding to make up with each other than fight. So if there's a conflict between you and your ex, there's a very good chance that she wants to make up with you too. Your plan to get your ex back. Okay, first sit tight. Wait before doing anything to get your ex back. You may have been crying "I want my ex-lover back" since the moment you broke up, but there are good reasons to wait before making a move. These include the fact that your ex needs time for the reality of life without you to sink in. This is not going to happen unless you keep your distance and give your ex space for at least 2 or 3 weeks. In the meantime, soak up all the advice you can about how to get your ex back. Now, take a deep breath. Get your emotions under control. Whatever you feel inside, it is essential that you learn to control your emotions before you call or meet with your ex-lover. Emotional, teary displays make people feel uneasy at best, manipulated at worst. Your ex will avoid talking or meeting with you if they suspect that this is what they will have to put up with. So, in public at least, demonstrate control. Word will get back to your ex that you are not an emotional roller coaster. Be honest. To understand how to get your ex-lover back, you first need to understand why they called it quits. Take a good look at yourself. Admit your faults and mistakes. At the same time, think about your positive qualities. Qualities your ex may have been missing for some time, and may be missing now as they remember the early days of your relationship. To get your lover back, you need to get back to the better you. What happened to that person? Now it's time to take action. Put things right. Now that you know why your ex broke up with you, you can put things right. But there's the thing. To get your ex back, it's not enough to say you've changed. You must make a genuine effort to change, to deal with your weakness and peep your strengths. For instance, get help with any emotional and behavioral problems that have affected your relationship, such as insecurity, jealousy, anger. You will then be able to offer proof to change, books and articles you have read, classes you've joined, and so on. Now, arrange to meet your ex. It's critical that you wait until it's the right time to contact your ex. When it is, first take a deep breath, then call or text your ex to ask if you can meet. Keep it short, simple, and cheerful. Suggest a casual venue that is new to you both. Neutral territory not associated with the past. After all, you're looking to make a fresh start. Your ex-lover will naturally want to know why you want to meet. Assure them that you do not have a hidden agenda. Perhaps you have a good reason, a book or CD to return. In any event, explain that you simply like a chance to meet in nicer circumstances than when you last saw each other, to clear the air and move on. Take steps to look your best. Before you meet your ex, take steps to an irresistible new you. Think about the things your ex most liked and disliked about your look. Although this part of the plan may seem superficial, it is important. Looking good will boost your self-esteem and confidence, and encourage your ex to believe you have changed inside too. And of course, it won't hurt to look desirable and appealing. Be prepared, stay calm when you meet. When you meet your ex-lover, you will probably both be nervous. Be prepared to make an effort to put you both at ease. After all, you're the one who asked to meet. So before you get together, try to think of some safe icebreakers, such as updates on work or friends. Another advantage to meeting someone new and unfamiliar to you both is that it will give you something to talk and perhaps laugh about. Admit your flaws, but don't ask for a second chance. At some point, the conversation will turn to the big topic, your breakup. Make it plain that you recognize and accept your faults and mention steps that you have taken towards a healthier, happier you. Make it clear that you're changing for your own sake, not anyone else's, your ex included. Secondly, you're not asking for a second chance. You simply want your ex to know that you understand why they left. Your ex-lover may agree with everything you have to say about yourself, and more. Don't get angry and defensive or point out that they have faults and shortcomings too. Let them have their say and get lingering emotions out of their chest. If listening has not been your strongest point, this is a chance to prove it can be. If your meeting goes well, if you have stuck to your promises that it would be casual, civilized, you'll be in a good position to suggest that you might meet again sometime. Now you have accomplished the most critical part of how to get your lover back. Your ex should have left your meeting with a fresh perspective of you, your breakup, and how they feel about it. They will be impressed that you kept your promises, you were not emotionally demanding or made any attempt to get back together. This is food for thought. Give them time to digest it. Can I get my ex back after cheating? If you cheated and you want your ex back, the big question is, can you somehow convince them to forgive you and give you a second chance? The short answer is yes. It's possible to get your ex back after cheating. Although cheating is one of the worst relationship crimes, many couples do survive and go back together after cheating. What's more, most of us know cases personally or in the media where a cheating ex did not even deserve a second chance, let alone a third or a fourth, but got one all the same. Yep, even serial cheats or first-time cheats with few redeeming qualities, most likely serial cheats in the making, and little in the way of genuine remorse somehow managed to get their ex back. It's not a good thing that those who should be kicked to the curb get more than they deserve. But for you, it is. Think about it. If even totally undeserving cheats get a second chance, there's a very good chance for anyone, and I'm assuming this includes you, who genuinely deserves one, certainly you deserve and are more likely to win a fair hearing, at least a big first step towards getting your ex back. Why do you deserve to get your ex back after cheating? When you've made a terrible mistake, it can be tempting to accept the consequences even though you desperately want to turn back the clock and be with your ex again. It's important to stay focused on repairing the situation rather than giving up. And an important part of this is to really believe that you really do deserve a second chance. Your belief and determination will make a strong impression on your ex. Why exactly do you deserve a second chance after cheating? Well, for one thing, you have all the right feelings. A deep sense of loss, pain, self-hate, and regret. These feelings are indicators that you are not a serial cheat, but someone who did something really stupid. You made a terrible mistake. Your genuine regret and other emotions will show through and give credibility to what you say to your ex, giving you a vital edge in getting them back. For another, despite making the mistake of your life by cheating, you are a worthwhile person with qualities that your ex has loved. You have done something really bad, but the big picture of who you are is good. This is something that your ex will be aware of once their initial emotions settle down. So how do you get your ex back? It probably goes without saying that getting an ex back after cheating won't be a walk in the park. For one thing, it will take longer than it would if you had broken up from usual reasons. For another, how to get an ex back and how to get an ex back after cheating are not quite the same thing. Some of the usual do's and don'ts are more important than they usually be when trying to get an ex back. For instance, it's always important to give an ex space, but absolutely essential when you have cheated, and while there is a genuine excuse that can be made for certain faults and errors, excuses will not win your ex back after cheating, they will backfire. Most of all, you can't afford to put a foot wrong. How to get your ex back after you cheated. A few easy tips. Number 1. Accept it may take a long time to get your ex back. Do the right things and you can get your ex back after you cheated, but be prepared for it to take some time. You face a greater challenge than people who have broken up for more common reasons, such as an argument that got out of control. Number 2. Keep your distance. It's essential to give an ex space. After breaking up, it's absolutely vital after cheating. However desperate you are to communicate, resist. For some time you will be the last person your ex wants any contact with. Respect this. Your ex knows how you feel and needs no longer than usual to figure out how they feel. Number 3. Accept your punishment. Your ex has been deeply hurt, to say the least, and will want to hurt you back. The best way they know how is to make you feel that there is no chance you will ever get them back. Even if there is, they may flirt with others, look better than ever, however they choose to punish you. Avoid the knee-jerk reactions. Understand that your ex needs to make you suffer. It's part of their healing process. Number 4. Be honest about how you feel. Part of the usual advice on how to get an ex back is control your emotions. Sometimes it's even a good idea to keep them guessing about your true feelings. If you have cheated, this is a dangerous strategy. It is important that your ex knows how you really feel. Don't overdo it, but don't be tempted to act cool like losing your ex is no big deal. If asked, be honest about how much you regret cheating on her and how much you want them back. Word gets around. Number 5. Understand what your ex feels. After you've cheated, it's not enough to apologize for what you have done. Learn what it really feels like to be cheated on. Your ex will want evidence that you fully understand the impact of cheating. what you have put them through. Your apology will mean little without it. Finally, number 6, behave yourself. To get your ex back after cheating, you must be squeaky clean and play safe. No flirting, no one-night stands, no rebound. Risky but often recommended tactics like using jealousy to get your ex back are a big no-no. It's most obvious to everyone, spies included, that you are interested in one person only, your ex. Your self-control, even when you have opportunities to misbehave, will help convince your ex that you are unlikely to cheat again. Absolutely critical to get them back. If you really can't behave or want to go wild and forget your problems for a night, do it somewhere where your ex isn't likely to find out about. Remember, you also have to be very persistent. What you need to know. It's pretty much guaranteed that your ex will prolong the break up long after they have decided and perhaps hinted that they are willing to at least think about getting back together. This is partially to prolong your punishment, but is also a critical commitment test. Your persistence is the only reliable measure your ex has of how sorry you are and how much you want them back. Make sure you pass. Do not make excuses for cheating. When you have contact with your ex, don't even think about making an excuse for cheating. However persuasive you think it is, an excuse will not earn forgiveness and will seriously provoke your ex. It implies a hope that they will understand and accept what you have done. They won't. The key to forgiveness is not an excuse, it's remorse. Also, be romantic. Although a decent period of no contact with your ex is essential, at some point but not earlier than a month or 2 after you break up, the time may be right for a romantic gesture or 2. Do not overdo it. The purpose is to simply let your ex know that they are uppermost in your thoughts, that you love and miss them, with no explanations or expectations attached. Let the romance of the gesture, the flowers, poem, speak for themselves. Don't despair. Remind yourself that the key to get your ex back after you have cheated is persistence. While there may seem to be no change, no encouraging signs at all, the longer you hang in there, the better your chances are becoming. How to attract your ex-boyfriend back. You've had a breakup and you want to know what you can do to attract your ex-boyfriend back. Well, you will need to do a lot of things, and to stay on track it helps to have a step-by-step plan. Whatever you do, none of it will work unless you're actually attractive to your ex. So, the most obvious answer to the question of how to attract your ex back is be attractive. The next question is, what is attractive to your ex-boyfriend? You more than anyone should know. Think back to the person you were and when you met. What do you think were your most appealing qualities? Changes in a girl's looks, personality, and behavior are often mentioned as one of the reasons why boyfriends break up. There's a good chance that your boyfriend didn't break up with you, he broke up with the person you became. So, recapturing and reviving all the things your ex-boyfriend loved about you tops the list of how to attract your ex-boyfriend back. Next, there are qualities that men in general admire and find attractive and appealing. Work on these too, and start now. Sure, you may not be with your ex-boyfriend, and if you're doing the right thing, giving him space, even seen him. But there's a good chance he's getting feedback on how you are, making it well worth making the effort to make sure that what he is hearing is all good. Besides, polishing up your personal qualities, the ones that attracted your ex-boyfriend in the first place. It's all good practice for when you finally meet to talk. That will be the critical step towards getting back together with your ex-boyfriend. Be attractive, irresistible. You will be a great incentive for him to decide it's what he wants to do. Remember, being confident, attractive, and cheerful is going to make your ex-boyfriend fall in love with you again. Let's discuss the meeting with your ex. When you actually meet your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, it's your responsibility to put him at ease. You'll most likely achieve a lot on this front just by looking your best. You can also think of some icebreakers before you meet, and even though it may be hard, smile. This simple gesture will immediately reassure him that he's not about to face an emotional scene. Make sure he doesn't. Don't mention anything about getting back. This particular step to get back with your ex is pretty much the same for men and women. At some point, the conversation will turn to your breakup. You have only one goal: to mention as casually as you can that you now understand why he broke up and the steps you've taken to change, for your own sake. Once you add this last part, he'll relax rather than feel he's been tricked into a meeting so you could ask for a second chance. Most of all, he'll believe you really are sorry and making a genuine effort to change. The result is that he or she will leave your meeting with a good thought and feeling about you, and importantly, won't be afraid to talk or meet with you again. Again, give your ex space. If all goes to plan, your ex will be pleasantly surprised on a number of fronts by your looks, your confidence, your cheerful behavior, and your honesty and action regarding your shortcomings. And the fact that you didn't pressure him to get back together. When you think about it, this is a lot for your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend to take in, and many of his thoughts and feelings will be turned upside down. It's not realistic then to expect an immediate result. You have to trust that he's thinking about you and thinking good things about you. This is really hard to do, but I know in many cases where after all their hard work, women have ruined their chances by pesting their ex-boyfriends after meeting with them. If you follow all these steps, the odds are in your favor to get back with your ex.